Okay, welcome back to Let's Boldly Go. And would you look at that orbit? Um, it took a few goes around to get it actually to a point, to get it actually lined up. But that's easy, because it's just like, you just get them there. The fun part is the inclination. And you'll notice that there are these other things marked on here, beyond the apoapsis and the periapsis. What could those be? Well, if we look at them, they say ascending node and descending node. Well, ascending, descending. And what those are is, those are the points when the orbit intersects with the plane of the, what's it called, the ecliptic? The eclectic? No, eclectic's something totally different. The ecliptic, like that's just the, like the plane of the solar system, which in this case, since it's a game, everything's, like, there's an actual plane that you can measure. I don't know how they specify it in real life. But yeah, since our current orbit is basically horizontal, we just have to wait, and we have the periapsis and apoapsis pretty much lined up. What we do is we wait until we are at this node, and then we burn perpendicular to our orbit, because common sense would say, like, oh, if I'm over here and I want my orbit to be up here, then I would burn upwards, like where I want it to go upwards. But that's not how it works. Because like by burning upwards here, that pushes our velocity upwards over here, i.e. at an angle, and then because it's a circle, it comes back around. I don't know if that made any sense, but I'll show you what I mean. So actually, first I want to retarget this so you can look at it closer. And actually, I should probably go ahead and line up with the polar node, I believe it's called. No, that's not what that's called. This is the normal vector? Yeah, the normal vector. And then if we point outwards, that's the radial vector, because it points radially. And I should not be rotating with RCS, because that is a waste of fuel. Yeah, so yeah, then I want to just come around real close like. And again, it'd be really nice if it would tell us the timing of these things, like, oh, T-minus 15 seconds, but we're not, like, we don't have the, I assume it's the tracking station isn't upgraded suitably. Okay, so we're pretty close. We're pretty lined up. So now we burn upwards, and you can see, slowly, we are tilting upwards. Ooh. Yeah. So now I just want to keep it lined up perpendicular so that we aren't changing our periapsis or apoapsis too much. And I'm going to go ahead and just do this all in one pass because I'm lazy. We might overshoot, but well. And I still have no idea how close to these parameters we actually need to be. But I would say that's pretty darn close. And I fuel. Check the... no, not that one. Not that one. Hey, that is... We are within the boundaries. Like, oh yeah, the target orbit disappeared. Huh, well, that was easier than I expected, to be perfectly honest. Check out those fat stacks, yo. Oh man, okay. I don't know what all this is. Something about a bunch of recovered debris, I guess. Whatever. Yeah, so now we have a satellite in orbit around Kerbin, just doing its thing. Yeah, it's just gonna sit there and whatever. Yeah. I guess we'll go back to the Space Center then. I'm not really sure what I want to do now. Because the next step is that, that polar orbit satellite. But I think that one has more requirements to it. So let's look at the contract. Still gotta do the parachute thing. I don't know when I'll do that, but we don't need to worry about that. Polar orbit of Kerbin. So yeah, we needed specific parts on this. And we will need quite a bit more delta V to get into this orbit because the altitude's higher, and polar, which, as I mentioned before, is more expensive to get into. So listen, I guess we've got more land survey contracts. I'll probably do those on my own because we've seen those already, and we're not going to have a new aircraft yet. Although actually, if any of them require altitude, which they do, then perhaps we will need a new aircraft, depending on if we have the parts to make such an aircraft. See, we did actually snag more science, but it's not quite enough yet, so whatever. Because we still don't have a jet engine that'll work at any significant altitude. Which is kind of necessary for a high altitude contract, because I really don't want to strap more rockets to a plane, because that was terrifying. Oh geez, how did you get trapped in orbit? I think we should definitely go rescue Michelle, because I don't know what that is. That's totally something we can do, because then I can show you guys how rendezvousing with something in orbit works, because that gets interesting. So I'm gonna go and accept that. A very general. I mean, sure. I mean, we have a satellite in orbit. You can transmit data from space around Kerbin, if I'm understanding that correctly. Let's do some surface sample stuff. I can do that. More touristy garbage. Here you go, atmospheric scans. Yeah, those are all higher altitude than we can physically do. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to do that anytime soon. So where even is that engine? I don't actually know. I mean, it's like this is turbojets up there, but it should be earlier than that, I would think. Geez, so many parts, and then I got like a new part pack that's a Mark IV expansion, so we can build just monstrous planes. Like I'll probably end up using it more for spacecraft just to make them look cooler than the dumb big cylinders that we're gonna end up with. I mean, I would think that it would be in here, high altitude flight. Okay, yeah, there it is. So yeah, we still have 2 tiers before we could do anything that high up without using rockets, which I don't want to use rockets, because it is, what, like 4 different sites. So that can wait. And oh yeah, I want to do that on my own. So, where is Michelle? Okay, Michelle's wreckage. Are you in a stable orbit? Oh yeah, she's in a super low orbit. We can do that. Perfectly horizontal. That might actually be in there as like an introductory rendezvous mission, just to get people oriented for it. We should probably name this something special, shouldn't we? Man, really nothing exciting's happening in this episode. Well, except for the whole orbit thing. But who cares about that, right? Okay, so what am I trying to click on? This. Rename vessel. It is a probe, we'll go ahead and keep that. So this can be I guess the appropriate name would be something Sputnik related, so Kerbnik 1. Yes. Okay. At some point I'll probably deorbit that just so we can watch it blow up, which is always cool. But for now we can leave it there. Oh, yeah, and that thing I forgot about, where we have to transmit data from orbit around Kerbin. Yeah, that's literally all it is. Because some contracts will require it to be done by a new craft, so you can't just repurpose old stuff. I don't know if you heard that, I was just wiping the screen. Hopefully it wasn't crazy loud. But yeah, so we just have to take a probe report and then transmit it. Boom, easiest contracts we've ever done. 20,000 funds just for doing nothing. That's how I like to do it. Okay, my screen is definitely just more smudged now. That's really annoying. I wonder if it's safe to use glasses cleaner on this screen. Maybe we'll find out after this. It's weird, it's not glass. It's some weird, like, low glare plastic looking stuff. Okay, so I guess it'll be easier to get Michelle before doing that other satellite, and also we shouldn't leave her drifting in orbit for too long. So you can probably just retrofit one of our existing rockets rather than building a huge satellite launcher, which we would need to do. So the K4 can probably handle this. Now that okay, because we can pull off all the science and this nonsense. Do you want to leave the service bay? Because I think we've already taken all the science we can, but I don't know, just to be safe, should probably leave that on. This will be the... Oh yeah, I wanted to put better fins on this, because those are dreadful, and they kept trying to explode, from what I remember. Yeah, let's try these. Well, these are bigger. That's part of the problem, wasn't it? Yeah, those are way bigger. I don't know, that's kind of cool. Really cool, I mean, they look stupid. See, what I want is the deployable air brakes, because those are really handy, but we don't have those. What are these? There's no, just like, little tiny fins, are there? Just all this huge nonsense. Jeez, okay. Just gonna look. I don't want to even say what. Okay, never mind. I guess we're sticking with dumb ones then. Just for lack of parts. I mean, they fit on there really nicely, but I don't like them. Whatever. The important thing here is rescuing Mugshell. This rocket works, right? Should still work properly. Got to move these forward to keep our center of mass where we want it. Hopefully. Oh, important thing that we do actually need to get rid of those for is we're gonna have to be doing orbital maneuvers with monopropellant, most likely. So we will need monopropellant. Actually, we do still want that service bay because we need to put fuel tanks in it. Okay, so yeah, nothing fancy is going to happen because the episode's about to end, but yeah, I'm just going to stick service bay in here. I'll figure out which side's better for weight balance, and then just pop those fuel tanks in there and stick some RCS thrusters. Like, it's nothing exciting. Probably those together. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Well, I mean, now I really want to wait for this timer to end, so, and now it's about to end. Okay. yeah, I will see you guys next time on the show. Same bat time, same bat channel. See you then.